Hey guys, what's up? So lately I've been basically just working on robot stuff and school stuff, and I haven't been really posting that much. So I was like, you know what I should do? I'm gonna go, I don't know, sit down in front of the camera and tell everyone what I'm up to lately. And also, I have some good news in general. Alright, so basically in the past few months I have been studying, making robots, and making Project Aurora. And it's getting right around that time where I basically started to make Project Aurora. It's almost been 1 year of development. We are on 4.0, so in this video, I'm basically going to be showing um, the, the first generation and the last generation, and how you can install the latest gen for free. And I think it's going to be pretty cool, so let's get into it. So as you can see here, I have my trading view. This is Project Aurora 4.0. If I move my thing, you can see it. It says 4.0 right there, just so you can see that. Alright, as you can see, it's on SPXL right now, on the 15-minute chart, just at the moment. And as you can see, it's pretty darn profitable at 51%, but it did 407% in 175 trades, profit factor of 2, and this white line right here basically refers to the profit if you were to just hold it, and the blue line is the robot's profit. As you can see, the robot's profit's higher, which means it's worth something. And as you can see, if I can add to my list, let's go back testing long for TQQ. As you can see, this one is 53% profitable, but don't worry, you can tune it higher. I just have it set for to make the most money. Because I feel like this number, so it'll make some little tiny hiccups, but I feel like when it gaps a lot, I like to take a lot of profit, so that's why. You can get this thing up to 50, or you can get this thing up to 60 or even 70% accurate based on the stock. I'm basically going to show you how to do it. So this is first generation. This is Project Aurora, the 4.0, and I'm going to take you back to the first generation. And the first generation was actually Athena. So it follows the same basic scripture of Athena. So as you can see, the buys and sells are pretty much the same. And you have your risk to reward ratio. You have your, except this one had weird ass tuning. So, and it didn't have a back testing. So we have come a long way. So as you can see, we went from this to this. And as you can see, so I basically did 4 times the amount of effort into 4.0 doing this. So as you can see, there's a ton of settings that you can open up here. So the band for buys and band for sells, boom. So these are the 2 bands for them, and you can manipulate almost every single little bit about them. Unlike this one, where this didn't really do anything and it was completely broken, and this was the risk to reward ratio equation, which was fine, but look at it, it had a step of 1. So it would make these huge ass changes and you couldn't really do shit about it. But you can see the entry point is almost the same here, and the exit point is the same here. And the entry point's the same here, and the exit point's the same here and here. But same with this. So the overall underlying way that it would sell, it's not any different. So like it would have bought here, it would have bought there. So basically I put 3 times the amount of work into this one, and computing and backtesting, and I took a lot of freaking extra time. This one was pretty easy to code, and it didn't really do much. So this was here, but it only worked on my computer because I had a specialized MP5. What's it called? Web input from Google that would input this, and it didn't work for anyone else. And I uninstalled Google Chrome and reinstalled it, so this no longer works. The risk to reward equation. It's not really an equation, it's just the amount of risk per reward. So if you want to take no risk, you can set it all the way to 1. If you want to take a lot of if you want to take no risk, you can set this really high. If you want to take a lot of risk, you set this to 1. And as you can see, like, even we have just so you can see the difference here: buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, sell, buy, sell. Now this was not necessarily a profitable strategy, and I basically admit that. But this one, I have backtesting, it is profitable, it all works. So that's the first generation, this is the the last generation. Now, I also used a few other things, such as the Apollo 2, if that loads. And it's basically an ATR bot, which makes no money whatsoever. As you can see, the strategy is bust, and it doesn't really do anything, which basically means it's junk. So everything has been junk pretty much except my Project Aurora 4.0, and you're able to install it for free. The link is down in the description. Basically, how you install it is you copy and paste it into the Pine editor, you hit save, and then you hit add to chart, and you name it Project Aurora 4.0, and I'm going to basically teach you how to use it. So you can see the chart is right here. If I go to strategy tester, you're only going to want to use it on the profitable things, and here's the 2 tips for tuning it. Don't start at the top. Don't start with buy, sell, and don't start with these 2. Set this to 1, set this to 2, set this to 2, set this to 1, and go through the buy points, the sell points. Start with the multipliers, equation multipliers, and then change the equation adder. So how this works is that to get an accurate reading, you use the multiplier to massively increase the amount of sensitivity, and then use the adder to fine-tune it. So that's basically it. Then you can change the inputs on the amount of inputs on here. Also set these to 10%, all of them. If you want, then that's your final step, is to put in your trailing stop loss and orders. So at every single step, it has to be profitable. What I mean by that is it has to be not taking that much loss. Like this red stuff up here, that's its loss. The blue stuff is it's gaining in percentage. So as you can see, I move this and it changes in the variables. So it's probably that one. So I have mine fine-tuned like this, and then also you can change the backtesting strategy. I like to do it for 100 days or 100 total trades, but it doesn't really matter. So I have it set to 2020, start month 4, backtest start day 1, but you don't have to do that. After you get all that done, you can fine-tune it by putting in your backup orders, such as your trailing stop loss and everything. So you have strategy. You have buy points, you have sell points, you have backup sell points. You just have all this stuff that I thought of and is now in a robot. And I was thinking about selling it. I really was. I was really thinking about, you know what, I've spent a lot of time and work on this, and now it's finally profitable, and now I'm like, I should probably sell it. But I don't like to do that, so I'm giving it away for free. I don't know how long that's going to be, because the link will be down in the description, basically. But I've just put a ton of work into this, and I hope you guys can use it well, because I was once that one trader where I kept on losing tons of money. Like, I think I lost half my account before I started building it back up, and I hated my freaking emotions. I would go in on a position, and then I would lose like 1%, and then I'd continue to hold and take another loss. That was my freaking issue right there. Sorry, I had to do that. That was my freaking issue. But as you can see, it's pretty darn profitable at this one point. Bought here, sold here, sold here, but that one was a little loss. Boom, that was a big gain. And you can also use it on the inverse. So you can tune this like I have my short bot. So I actually have a Project Aurora short, but it's really complicated to use, and it'd be kind of hard to understand. But as you can see, this is basically Project Aurora 4.0, just modified to be, and you can modify yours to be a short bot. So as you can see, it shorts up, starts to short, and then it covers its short here. And as you can see, it's pretty darn profitable, and it pretty much has the same exact settings, except you're missing a few. So instead of this candle bit, instead of you having all the manipulation tools for the shorting, you have this, because when you short, you tend to need to be quick, and you need to be quick for everything else as well, but that one you want to be more sure of. So you need to be sure, you need to be going fast for this. So I have a ton of other videos based on all this stuff, but I did want to share with you a secret project, and I've been working on it for about 4 months now. No, yeah, a little bit over 4 months now, and it's called an arbitrage robot. Now you guys will probably think, that's a crypto thing. You don't do crypto things. I know I don't do crypto things, but this is not a crypto thing. I mean, it is a crypto thing because it involves cryptocurrencies, but it isn't a cryptocurrency. I mean, it does involve cryptocurrencies, but don't think of it as such, because this is actually a complex investment strategy that basically plays on market inefficiencies, and if there's market inefficiencies, you can make profit. Because let's just say, hold on, let me zoom in on my camera here. So, okay, so you can see this, okay? You and I look at let's just say Bitcoin and everything like this. So this is the futures for Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin. So you and I look at it like this. It moves like this fast, and it moves up and down constantly. How computers look at it, they look at it like this. Oh, Bitcoin rose, the futures rose. The Bitcoin drops down, the futures drop down. And in that very millisecond, let's just say Bitcoin jumps up, it'll buy futures contracts and sell on Bitcoin. And basically, within that millisecond, you would have made a profit. Let's just say it jumped up 0.2%. That's 0.2% in less than a millisecond. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get these a lot, because you're not, especially when you're using Bitcoin. But because Bitcoin is pretty darn efficient, and Ethereum is very efficient, so what you want to do is you want to scan for a lot of them, 10, 15 of them at a time, and just completely look at them. So what I've been programming is this special project. It's called Arbitrage Pro, and if I can show you it. Now this one I think I'm going to sell, okay? You can buy it from me from a Geek Stick, and then you have to pay monthly, but that may sound like a lot, but this is, I'm not going to say it's really, really low risk, but it's high profit. In fact, you can even trade on margin and leverage up your position 2 or 3 times because how safe this investment is. So, as you can see here, I'm just going to go through a little bit of it. So the theory is, you come over here, click this install file, and actually, let me run the base install file for you. Arbitrage bot. Okay, you're basically going to get this flash drive. It's going to be full of this stuff. You install Python, and then you click this install button. And then you basically wait for everything to load up. So let's just say, this may seem very complicated, it's really not. So if I just enlarge this so you guys can see it. So it's basically going to uninstall all the packages, and this may take between 2 and 5 minutes, but I've already got all of them installed, so it's basically going to go through it and configure my computer for arbitrage trading strategies, making my computer faster, installing all the correct drivers, optimizations, pretty much everything that you can, so you can beat the markets. And that is the entire goal of all of this. So as you can see, even though it had one error, at 0.6 seconds, it's still not fast enough. It needs to respond, and it needs to pass at least once. And right now, it's trying to figure out everything that's going on with the computer and optimizing it. And since I'm recording, it's probably not going to be optimized because it needs to be really fast. So it's going to go through all of it, and then it's basically going to say, do you want to create an arbitrage strategy? Yes or no. And, alright, so now it says 100% installed, and it's going to start the inputs. So this is where you're going to have to put in your inputs. And you need to have all of these readily on hand. So yes. Okay, what's your Bittrex API key? So to be honest, you don't really need all of these, but it is very helpful, and you'll make more money if you have more opportunity to make money. So let's just say I have it, which I don't, so I'm just going to press the letter 2, but it doesn't really matter, and I'll show you how to edit the code and stuff, but you literally just, let's just say I put it in, let's just say my password's 2, what's the secret key? 2, what's the Bittrex transaction fee? Let's, I think it's 0.2, what's the Pionex API key, let's say it's 3, the Pionex secret key is 3, 33, why not, and the transaction fee is 0.1, okay, now what's the Binance API key, let's just say, oh, it's a whole bunch of stuff, okay, secret key, whole bunch of stuff, what's the transaction fee, I'm not really sure on this, but I'm pretty sure, I think it's 0.15 if you're using KYS, or 0.17, but those are all stuff, Luno key, let's just type in some random stuff here. Okay, now it's going to ask you to make an arbitrage strategy. And basically what it's going to say is, what is the minimum spread that you would like? So on all of these exchanges, so you and I look at it like this, on all of these things, so let's just say the Bitcoin futures move up, and let's just say Bitcoin moves up, it'll buy the futures contracts, but it has to make profit on it because there is a transaction fee of whatever it is, so let's just say 0.17%, that means it has to jump 0.18% to even make a single cent. I mean, to even make a single a tenth of a percent. Let's just say that, okay? So it has to do that. So what's the minimum spread that we'd like? So we need to be looking at something like 0.3 is good, and pretty much everything that we can take after that will be good profit. So I like to set my base at 0.3 or 0.25. Let's just say 0.25, and let's just say, what do you want your minimum profit to be? So let's just say 0.01. We want as many of these as possible so we can take a large amount of profit, but it's still in development, so this may change as I learn more and I develop more of this strategy. So let's say actually 0.7, okay? Arbitrage strategy created. Now it's basically going to run this and take 15. Yeah, it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. No, sorry, it's basically going to be in about 30 seconds. It's going to close down, and then you're going to be able to open up this. So if you put in all your API keys correctly, you can click the startup thing. Now, there's currently nothing in the startup code, which is right here, but I'm going to make that all happen. And as you can see, our all of our config file is right here. So everything that we put in is literally just right here. That will be replaced with stuff here, and this is basically how it'll all go. So it's after this, it's going to basically ask you what symbols do you want to trade, and you can trade all of these and more. In fact, it's pretty much ever expanding, so I can put in 20 or 30 coins and basically just trade them off of that, which I think is the best. So once this comes up, now here's the goal, okay? Here's the goal. And I know this sucks, okay? So on your screen, just picture it, okay? You have your terminal. You have your terminal, then you have your console. So it's going to be basically outputting whatever the bot thinks and sees. So if it'll either say searching for trades, whatever you want, searching for trades, arbitraging, just and a bunch of other stuff too. On the terminal side, you're going to be able to control it, so you can say stop, cancel orders, basically everything. You can ask it stuff. You can tell it to change the strategy while it's running. You can ask, and then on the other side, way over here, you have got your chart, and you can see you can select whatever you want. So you can have your profit per day. You can have how many trades it's taken. You can just have a ton of stuff linked on this chart. You can have the price of Bitcoin and its arbitrage difference. So, okay, that's basically what's in the works. So, I hope you guys have learned this, and I hope that you guys can see this. But I am currently working on that new arbitrage strategy. I hope you guys like it. So, thank you very much for watching. See you later, and see you later.